Hi Libra, welcome to my channel. For the last of my mid-monthlies to do. Sorry if you've been waiting. This is a general reading for Libra for the 15th to the 30th of November 2018. If it doesn't resonate, try another aspect of your chart. I'll put a natal chart calculator below. Might be worth having a look, seeing what else is in your chart from the time you're born. Check those signs out and see if there is your moon, rising, Venus, whatever. Just see if there's another part of your chart that resonates. Feeling a bit sleepy, Libra, a bit worn out, a bit tired, a bit exhausted. A lot of thinking been going on. A lot of thinking. I actually have a Libra moon. Do you know what? I had a headache from doing the Libra at the weekend, so there's something going on. Might be worth going getting. You suffer with migraines, going and getting them checked out. If you're a cross watcher, if you're here to have a look at Libra's chart for whatever reason, they could be a partner, somebody you work with, somebody you're concerned about. You are more than welcome here. I welcome cross watchers. It's very nice that you're concerned with somebody. We'll take that position on it. If you're concerned with somebody and you wish to understand a little bit more, you're more than welcome. Understand that the roles are reversible though. So if this is a relationship reading, which they have been tonight, which is quite nice. I quite like relationship readings. I do prefer them to career, but career can come through too. I say relationship, the last one was a bit heavy. It was about a divorce, but there you go. Yeah, so if the roles can reverse. If I'm talking about you, it may be that, and I say Libra, 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 and you think that's not me, that's my partner. Roles can be reversed. If I say you're the cross watcher and I'm saying Libra, 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 and you're going, hang on a minute, that's my position. Absolutely. That's your role. Spirit doesn't work with that. Likewise, if you found this reading on a date that isn't the date on the video, divine timing is at play and it may well be meant for you. You're meant to watch it now. The message that's in it is for now, not for that date necessarily. Cards I'm using are the Naked Heart Tarot. The imagery on these is beautiful. It's by Gillian C. Wilde. I will provide the link below because this deck is just pen and ink. People compare it to the Wild Unknown Tarot, but for me it is different. The Wild Unknown's a bit more abstract and this is very much, it gets in within it. They're different. I love them both equally. I mean, the Wild Unknown was what I really developed my craft with, but I haven't used them on a video yet though. They're more like my deck for me. They're my personal deck. I spent 3 weeks with them attached to me and everything except the playground, and you have a bond that you can't really break. And if you're into tarot and reading and that, it's worth doing that. Have them with you for 3 weeks and see how you feel at the end of it. As with any reading, if there is anything that comes up with major advice that you require to make a major life decision, for example, the last one was a divorce. It was something that had already happened. It wasn't to go through a divorce, it was around it. Custody. But again, seek the legal advice that's required. Legal, medical, financial, business, medical, headache. Go see a doctor, get medical advice on that headache. It could just be that you need glasses. But this is like the second or third reading that I've had a headache after Libra. Also, if you were affected by the Something for the Weekend reading that was last weekend, tearing up, still raw. My condolences are really with you. It actually turned out, I did the reading, I uploaded it, and I was talking to my mum this week and I said it was very surreal because I uploaded it and later after I'd put it on to go on, it turned out that my cousin's I have cousins, there's 5 of them, their father had just died of lung cancer that day. So that was very surreal. I'm assuming they spent the weekend together. I haven't. They live in Essex and I'm in Devon. It's not we talk on Facebook and I love them dearly, but I'm not up there with them. I don't know what they've done. And now is not time for me to go, oh, by the way, was my reading accurate? But if it is, if you're watching this, cousins, I love you. I love you so much. I'm sending you so much healing energy. But that was very surreal to have that happen within my family, and it was very raw. They'd lost him that day, so very surreal. My cousin is a Libra, by the way, for the reference of that. The cousin whose one I read was Libra. Anyway, Libra, let's hope it's a bit happier this time. I'm hoping for something with love and warmth. We'll see. We'll see what this Naked Heart Tarot gives us. I do have 2 oracle decks with me. Every Libra I know seems to like oracle cards, so that's not why I've done it. I've done it for several readings. I have 2 out at the moment. I might feel that another one is appropriate though. If it does, I might go and get it. I might disappear and go and get it. I've got a feeling that there's a different one that's going to be needed. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's get down to it, shall we? I think we're there, aren't we, Libra? I think we're ready. Let's do this. Can I have a reading, please, for Libra for the 15th to the 30th of November 2018? Oh, yes, we can. Okay. Okay, that's not a bad thing as such, she says. Okay. Okay. I'm getting love. I'm definitely getting love. At the moment, there is a situation where you are not completely happy within a romantic situation. And you feel like it's got a bit, I want to say toxic. You're not happy in a situation. Very much getting that you may not be happy. What it is there's the Devil card. This is an addiction card. It could be that there's addiction related to it. Maybe you're addicted to a person and you think you shouldn't be. You're having daydreams about somebody that isn't necessarily your partner. Drinking a little too much, or having a bit of recreational weed or heavier. Some sort of vice. Could be bingo. Have some sort of gambling addiction. It's just going, bingo, they're addicted to bingo, Kayleigh. Addicted to bingo. I've been there. I've been addicted to bingo. But I wasn't in a healthy headspace. And I think that's where this is going. You're not been in a healthy headspace with regards to some sort of vice. And you've been using something as a crutch for why you're not happy, why you're not in a good place, in a situation. Understandably, if what happened in my weekend reading was for you. You need something to pick me up, to an emotional crutch. But there comes a time when you have to stop having the emotional crutch. And this is the Ace of Cups. This is the opportunity. And I'm getting that this is self-love, actually. This is all about building you up. You've had this situation where you've had an emotional crutch. You are in a position where you think you're not a whole person on your own. You're not healthy. You're not in a good place. You're not in the shape that you want to be, on the path that you want to be. This is all about self-love and getting to know you. There is one cup here. It's all about, you can only love once this cup is overfilling. You can only accept love equally with somebody else when you both have overflowing cups. That's what the Two of Cups is. This is self-love. You need to stop battling yourself. Heal past hurts. Take on a therapeutic approach to what you have been hurting and self-medicating in some respect too. That might be by the headache. You've been stressed, you've been thinking, overthinking. You've then been maybe having a glass of wine at night just to stop. Just take the edge off a little bit. I get why you're doing it. I get why you're doing it, Libra. I get why you've been doing it. I really do. You just needed something to take the edge off for a while. And what you really need to do is just look after yourself. And I don't just mean like, oh yeah, just go on a diet, do that. I'm not saying that by any means. You need to learn to love yourself. And if that means that you then go on a journey of improving your eating habits, or working out more, taking up yoga, meditating, whatever it takes for you to feel as a whole person, take on some therapy, but give yourself a break. Don't punish yourself for the fact that this happened, that you were doing this. You're never going to progress from there. You need to just take a moment, rest, recuperate, regain your strength. Regain your strength. Bear with me one moment. I'm just going to get the charger. It's literally gone to 5%. Apologies for that. It has actually just had to change angle because the lead is like that much too short to leave where it was. Sorry, next time I'll make sure. Maybe I just needed a break. Maybe you just need a break. Maybe you just need to relax and recharge your batteries. Have a pamper session. Just take a moment. Go to the salon and get your hair done. Go and get a bit of reflexology. Have a back massage. Do a face mask. Just take one night off. Have a healthy glass of wine to relax. Just take the night off. Just take a night off. Just rest and recuperate. Clear the diary for the day and just curl up and regain your energy. When you rest, you stop this hurt attacking you, affecting you. Those negative thoughts that cause you pain. The pain that you've been medicating with this vice is eased. Slightly, not completely, just slightly. And once you take control of your life, once you get to a good place, because that's what you're going to do, you're going to build yourself up, give yourself rest, recuperation, work on loving yourself, work on improving yourself. It's all about you. This reading's all about you, Libra, and what you need to do for your happiness, your self-love, you to fill your cup up. To fill your cup up. This isn't about loving another person. This isn't about this is just about improving yourself and loving yourself and respecting yourself enough to give yourself a rest, to build yourself up. Have a tea break. Cappuccino biscuit. Just give yourself 10 minutes in the day where you're not running around and you can just sit in peace for a moment and just recharge your batteries a little bit. Bit of me time, bit of you time. This is ironically my me time. But once you get to that place where you are recharged and you're happier, it will make you naturally feel happier. You will have more energy. You will vibrate at a higher frequency. You'll be happier. And things will feel like if they're negative, you don't attract it. It just comes off you. It can't touch you. It can't, because it can't keep up with you. Imagine two atoms and one's moving really fast and one's really slow. This one's resonating slowly. This one's going really fast. Well, when this one goes pinging off, this can't keep up, can it? It can't keep up. It can't touch you because it's not at the same energy as you. It's not attracted to you. Once you get to that point where you are resonating higher and you have worked on yourself and you have made yourself a whole person and you've got all your energy back and you're in your mojo, you've got your mojo, you're going for your mojo. You can then take everything you are and you naturally, it's the law of attraction, manifest, make happen whatever you want. You can make anything happen, Libra. You will have everything you need to go for the future you want. You have infinite possibilities to follow the path you want. I love this. It's a bit like, what's her name from Shrek? The girl. Looking through there. Love it. She chose a path, didn't she? What's her name? Princess Fiona. She chose a path. She chose love. She chose to follow her heart for which way she was going to go. Was she going to live by the day or live by the night? And she lived by the night because that was her true love, and her true calling was to marry Shrek. You know, it's a kid's film, whatever. I'm just taking the analogy. You know what I'm saying, though. She saw her path. She always had it visioned as something else, and she was in a bad place. She hated the way she looked. She hated that she'd been cursed by that. The only thing was, it wasn't a curse. And it was only when she got into a happy place and she loved herself for who she was that she saw that that was the path that she was supposed to follow. Being a high resonance just means that you know your path, you know your energy, you can see things so much clearer because the negativity just can't even touch you. Practice being happy. Practice what makes you happy. And I don't mean makes you happy like I love getting drunk at the weekend and I love cheating on my partner and I love doing that, and then whatever the crutch is, that's not happiness. That's a crutch. That's a substitute for something else. Why go for the saccharine rubbish that when you really, what you want is the healthy sugar, the normal fruit sugars, you know, the healthy sugars, not just granulated in your tea. I'm not saying that you know what I mean. Why get the energy from, you know, modified sugar when you can get it from a fruit that your body knows how to work? It's just having a bit of a healthier, streamlined approach. And once you have this, you have the clarity to plan where it is you want to go, the freedom of thought, freedom thinking. You know, when you're not baggaged down with bad thoughts and depressive states. I mean, I've been there. There are times I still struggle with anxiety. There was a situation today that it felt overwhelming. But I cut myself a break. And I went, just, you know what you need to do to deal with it? Deal with it. And I did, and I made a plan. And you can plan where it is you want to go. And the best thing is, whatever you decide to do here, whichever way you decide you want to go, which I'm getting learning here, you might want to go and learn something. Or plan what you want to do in a career. Whatever it is you want to do, this is the wonderful thing. You go ahead and you achieve it because you're in that state of high energy, high resonance, you're highly attractive. You attract things to you. So you are only ever going to succeed. Whichever direction you go, you are only ever going to succeed because you are, the Six of Wands is all about triumph, charging forth, the victory horse. Off we go. We're gonna win the race. It doesn't matter if it's a sprint and you get there quickly or if it's a longer steeplechase, you know, if it's the Grand National, it doesn't matter. You will be able to endure the ride, wherever it is, to get to the destination and succeed in whatever it is you want to go for. That's the beautiful thing, because you have made that happen, because all you've done is taken a bit of time and been a healthy level of selfish. This isn't a healthy level of selfish. Nothing positive comes out of that except empty pockets. Empty pockets and feelings of guilt. Cut that off. You can free yourself from that. You know you can free yourself from that. And if you go, oh, I can't, you can. I smoked for 15 years. Got a bit of hypnotherapy. Hypnotherapy worked for me. Haven't smoked before. Maybe it was 15 years actually. Might have been longer. I started very young. Sorry, Mum. But once you start looking after yourself, it will naturally. You have to be a little bit selfish. And I'm not on about, oh, I'm not doing, it's all me, me, me. And that is not what I'm saying. You know that's not what I'm saying. Once you get to that place, that's self-love, you resonate higher. You attract love. This is sort of cup love. Now, the warning with this is, yes, it is your soulmate, yes. Once you've got to this place, this love, this beautiful, balanced, emotional bliss, yes, we're soulmates, yes, I found my life partner, because when you resonate higher, only the best comes to you. So your soulmate, who should also be in a high resonating place, should come to you. You meet at mutual energies, and it's this lovely bond, equal, balanced emotionally. You know, two hearts entwined. You help pump blood into each other. You help support each other. You emotionally keep each other steady. There's a bond that you can't explain, but it's there. It's a beautiful bond between you. And that's beautiful. But you need to consider, this is the sneaky thiefy card. Little cheeky little, you know, trash panda. You have the Five of Swords at the top. The Five of Swords is all about winning the battle. You won the battle. You won the battle to get there, but was it worth it? And for me, I get that this isn't about the other person necessarily. I think you're going to steal something from yourself. I think you're going to get involved with someone before you're actually ready. They are your soulmate. You're going to feel like you have to make a decision to be with them. Like if you don't get with them right now, it's never going to happen. And because you do that, you are making it so much harder for the pair of you. You've almost forced that situation. And it's going to feel like, they're going to feel like, or one of you is going to feel like that, because it was forced into that. It's where you're supposed to be, but not how it was supposed to be. You forced the timing of it. And because of that, you restrict how many decisions you can make as a couple. So if you've not completely healed and not followed your path to wherever it is you want to go, career you want to go into, and there's a decision that you go away to do a course, or you stay and you have this relationship. What's meant for you will always happen for you, will come to you. And you'll be in two really great places, and it'll feel like you have to give up some part of your dream to make this happen. I'm not getting theft and trickery. It's almost like you've stolen from yourself. If you just finish the course, if you just complete on this one thing, if you just don't take away a part of yourself for a relationship. Remember that you, above all things, are the most important thing to you. And I don't mean that in a narcissistic way. I mean that, like, if you are not a whole person, what can you give to the other? So if you take a part of you away, you're actually taking a part away from the partnership. Does that make sense? So if you're not completely happy because you've compromised yourself, not compromised, you've settled for a situation to make that happen, you're taking away a decision you could make in the future. So if you decide not to, and this is going to affect your future, this is the Wheel of Fortune, this is fate, this is major turning points in your life. So when it comes to making this decision, make the right one. Take your time and consider it. Do not do a knee-jerk reaction. Do not force a situation, either of you, into a situation that is going to ultimately affect. And it could literally be for anything. It's the same elements as the Magician. So you made that happen and you used the high resonance. But I get when you make this decision, you're not resonating quite as high as you was when you started that. You've manifested this, and this is a pure love because you manifested it. You made it happen through resonating at the correct frequency to get that to come to you. But I'm getting that once you've got that, this path that you chose to follow, which you should succeed, at some point you're going to steal that away from yourself and you won't succeed. Well, you will succeed, you will get to where you want, but it won't be the way you wanted to do it. You'll have taken something from yourself. It's almost like you don't quite finish the course. I mean, you still go into that career sort of, but you can't get as high up as you wanted to go. Which in turn affects how you as a couple work, because it might be that you then resent the fact that you gave that up for this relationship. Then it takes a piece out of your relationship. Or an opportunity comes up, say for some ridiculous reason you decided to change the field of being a doctor that you want, medical that you wanted to go into, because you didn't want to be away from your partner for a year at uni or studying or go to a post attachment, and yet you both dream of emigrating to Canada, say, and the role comes up in the career you should have followed, the speciality you should have gone into, you wanted to go into, but it doesn't come up in the career that the speciality you chose to go to stay closer to your partner. What you have to understand is, if you're meant to be with someone, distance doesn't matter to a soul or a heart, really. If you're good on your own, you can do that distance, and you know that that person's for you, so they're never going to do anything. I mean, me and my husband were apart. We were together nearly every day for 3 years straight, and then he joined the forces. He was gone, and we didn't get married for another 3 and a bit years after that. But he was gone, and we knew we were okay, and we made it work, obviously, because here we are 13 years down the line, and we're still together. But again, we worked at that. But in that situation, yes, we were together, but then I let him go. And then, because I was waiting for him, instead of doing my own thing, I took a part of me away. So, you know, I broke myself. But all I did was steal from myself. Opportunities from myself, because I was so wrapped up in them and what he was doing, when really I should have. This almost feels like you are changing your own fate. You have the decision to make that decision for a turn of the wheel for your benefit or for your deficit, depending on whether you steal from yourself or not. That it just feels like that's the warning, that you could potentially change your fate and miss a huge, divinely given life opportunity because you steal a piece of yourself, because you think that's what's needed to keep this person with you. This person is connected with you no matter how far apart you are. They will wait for you. If it's long distance, it will work together. You will work together. You're meant to be. Just don't sell yourself short. I mean, you look what you went through. You had that vice situation, you've went through all that self-love, all that self-improvement, that self-growth, and you've thrown it away at the last minute because you decided that another person, being near another person, when you were incredible as an individual, so why the hell would you not be incredible and then want to be with you when you're not apart? You're not apart. You're apart in distance physically, yes, but you're not apart in, you know, soul, love. You're still a couple, no matter how far apart you are. Separation is hard, I get that. We've had detachments. We've had within the military life where he's gone away, and the kids, while we've had the kids, and you still love each other. You still make it work. You Skype when you can. You phone when you can. You get around it. That separation is temporary, not permanent. But selling yourself short in a life-changing decision, that's permanent. Yes, I get it. It was an honourable sacrifice that you're considering. It's an honourable sacrifice. I get it. It's for love. It's the ultimate sacrifice. The ultimate sacrifice in love is for yourself. If you compromise yourself for another person, that's the ultimate sacrifice. If you diminish yourself for another person. And with this, you are diminishing yourself, which in turn diminishes yourself as a couple. Be the best version of you. In fact, your partner would probably encourage you to be the best version of you and to achieve what you want. Do I need this card? Do I need a card for Libra? Do I need a message for Libra? Yes. Chop wood. I wonder what that means. I've never had that card before, so it's story time. 42. I'm going to read both meanings because in this there is a relationship message and there is also what they call a protection message. Being grounded in everyday experience. This may or may not be related to the reading. I'm just saying it may just be a message that's separate. The Oracle's message. There are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil and then leaving it to be, to let nature take its course, is an important step in manifestation. Taking care of yourself, looking after yourself a little bit, protecting yourself, nurturing yourself. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you a state of receptivity. Basically, if you're looking for love, don't focus on love. It's worth working on self-love instead of outward love. Anyway, this is the deeper purpose of releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which bring you ever closer to what you seek. The relationship message for this card is nothing is important right now as just doing what you need to do day to day, following your path, doing your course. Let your heart remember that not everything has to be hard-won, passionate, or obviously meaningful. So giving that up, giving up your thing, that sacrifice, you don't have to sacrifice. The outcome you're looking for doesn't have to be through you giving something up, a piece of you up, or your future up, your path up. Relationships and friendships go through lulls when everyday tasks are at the centre of awareness. That is perfect now. Hold hands, wash dishes, make a fire, read a book, share a meal, say nothing, stare into each other's space, pick up socks, tell a dumb joke, and leave space to breathe. You don't have to be in each other's pockets to remember that you love each other. The word work, I can't do it because my fingers are all inverted commas. No, not inverted commas, quotation marks. The work of your relationship right now is very simple. Just be present. So if you're in a relationship, yes, you're in it, but you need to take some time to work on you. Funny how all it takes is how it takes work to just be. All is well, really. Which is good. You don't have to put that much effort and sacrifice into that relationship. It just is. That relationship just is. If you're with them now, it just is. Work on you. You're going to be a much better partner by working on you and focusing on what you need to do each day, what you need to work on, where you need to go, what you need to do. You're going to be a much better person for doing your own thing. You don't have to live in each other's pockets and be right in front of somebody for them to remember that you're the person they're with, or they want to spend their life with. Right, prosperity message, if this so applies. Now is the time to take small steps rather than larger leaps on the journey to creating your most prosperous life. Move your focus off your big dream and attend to the mundane chores. Focus on little things that have piled up while you've been mapping out the greater plan of life. you aspire to see manifest into reality. Chop wood, carry water, as the Zen proverb advises, or wash dishes, walk the dog. While you're doing all that, Spirit will have a chance to move mountains and set wondrous miracles in motion for you. Remember, humble and aware of the present. Remain humble and aware of the present. So life is going to spin a wheel. It's just whether you can take it by selling yourself short and not focusing on what you need to do, what you need to work on, what chores in your life within you as a self-care thing, what chores you need to follow to do. Protection message. Are you an armchair astronaut? Do you dream of wealth and fame, big ideas, inventions and desires with a capital D? The appearance of this card is a sign that you might be devoting too much time dreaming and talking about your dreams. You have to get out of the chair and make things happen. Instead of wallowing in the fact that things aren't happening, work on what you need to do to get yourself to where you want to be, to what you want to achieve. You have to get out of the chair to make things happen. You actually have to do something. Life is not just going to lay this at your feet. You have to put in the work. You have to strive. Work on yourself. Make sure you take rest stops along the way. It's going to be a long journey. Start with a small task. Remember, the big dream becomes a reality only after you have begun to take incremental steps. Mythologist Joseph Campbell once said, take one step towards the gods and they will take 10 steps towards you. The more effort you put into yourself and where you want to go, the quicker it gravitates towards you. If you resonate higher, the more work you put on yourself, the more energy you put into yourself, the higher it resonates with you. Do you need the romance angels? That was Wisdom of the Oracle, by the way. I will link that below. I kind of don't want to, because I feel like you're putting too much focus on making this relationship fit and build. You're focusing too much on that and making that work than making yourself work. And if you're fine on your own, that makes you a better partner means you can help your partner grow as well as yourself. And yet I'm taking the cards out anyway. What is wrong with me? Okay, romance message for Libra, please. I feel like this isn't going to help you. But I feel like you want me to pull one. And now I look like I've smelled a fart. In all seriousness though, let's have a love message. Let's have a romance or angel oracle card for Leo for the 15th to the 30th of November 2018, please. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. I'm glad you made me pull that now. Thank you, Libra. It's time for you to take control of your life and your path and yourself. It's the unicorn. Be a unicorn. Unicorns are precious and need to be treasured and adored and respected. If you don't respect yourself, how is anybody else going to respect you? If you don't love yourself, how is anybody else going to love you? RuPaul, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? It's that sort of thing. You can't give all to your partner if you have nothing, if you do not fill your own cup up. You cannot give from an empty cup. You have to do it for you. You have to be a little bit selfish and do things for you. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Trust that your partner is there for you. You do not have to make a decision to stay where you are right now, because in a way, by not going and doing it, you're not trusting your partner, and you're not trusting yourself, and you're not trusting the fundamental basis of your relationship, which is that you love each other and you are going to be together. You are soulmates. You just need to trust that it's going to be okay regardless. And the beautiful thing is, this is coming up, and I'm so glad. I am so, yeah, as long as you have faith in your relationship, do what you got to do, and then the wheel of fortune turns in your favour. You are soulmates. Do not sell yourself short. Take something away from yourself. Take control of what you want and your destiny. This will happen regardless. This is going to happen. This person is in your life. This person is with you. They love you. Trust that they love you. Trust that you can do what you need to do. As much as you want them to do what you have to trust, let them do what they want to do as well. It's a balance. It's a partnership. It's trusting each other to stay faithful. It's trusting that you have each other's backs. It's trusting that no matter how far apart you are, you will still come back together. You are still meant to be together. You will put the effort in. And because you do that, because you grow, because you expand to your fullest potential, wedding. This situation involves marriage. This doesn't have to lead to marriage, by the way. You don't have to get married to be whole. I do believe that that's what you believe, Libra, that the marriage is the ultimate goal. Because you're willing to sacrifice for love. And that's honourable and all. But by selling yourself short, you're selling the partnership short. Sort yourself out. Trust that they love you. Because when you sort yourself out and you love yourself completely, you can understand that they do indeed love you. And that you are worthy of them. Because while you're in this state where you don't love yourself enough, you don't believe that they want to be with you, that they're going to stay with you. You don't believe that no matter how far, you think that you have to be right there in front of them to remember and stay faithful. Because you don't think you're worthy of them. You are worthy of them. You're worthy of the world. You're wonderful, Libra. You just doubt yourself so much. You're worthy of everything. And when you see that, and you appreciate that, and you trust them, and they can do what they want, and you can do what you want, and you have the freedom, but the freedom to do what you want, but with the support of somebody who has your back completely. And you can trust each other. It's not just about faithfulness, it's about supporting each other, enhancing each other. You know that no matter what you need, they will scoop up and take the weight when you need it, and you can support them when they need it. And it's balance, it's give and take, it's trusting each other to be there in any way that's needed. And of course that can ultimately lead to wedding or a very committed relationship. It says wedding, it doesn't have to specifically mean wedding. I'm not anti-marriage, I just don't believe you should chase a ring. And I think that's what you're confusing, Libra. You seem to be chasing a ring instead of chasing a dream that they can come along with for the ride. And let's be honest, if you're inspiring in what you do and what you achieve, that's going to keep them around a lot more than just because you were around, if that makes sense. They want you in your life. You have to have a bit of separation to appreciate. You know, there are times now where I think, God, can he not just go away for a week? Because he used to go away for months, or a couple of months, or 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. A weekend. He went to America for a weekend once on a detachment. Anyway, I digress. But you don't get to have that magic moment. There's a photo that was in Time magazine of us two when he came back from fighting, well-covered war zone at the time. And there's a picture that was, I don't know if it was in the actual Time magazine or it was just on the website. There's a picture of me and I've got this purple beret and purple coat. And he's got off and he's in all his combats. He's just got off the bus. They've just landed. And there's this swooping hug. And it just looks like love. It just is love, that your love has come back to you and they're safe and you've missed them. And to get there to see him. I travelled from Plymouth in Devon. I travelled 700 miles. I had agoraphobia. This is love. This is love. I had agoraphobia. I couldn't leave the house hardly. I was struggling. I just managed to start a job for myself, but I took the time off so I could get there, and I got a taxi to the train station because it was stupid hours in the morning, and I got the train to Bristol because that was where the plane was going, but it wasn't going to Scotland where I wanted to go. It went to Newcastle, and then I had to get the metro round to meet the bus. So I'd been to Newcastle before, so with work, so I kind of knew my way around Newcastle. And then from there I got the bus to Edinburgh, and then I was supposed to get a connecting train where I met a friend. So she turned up late, and then we missed the train to Perth that would then take us to Inverness and then get the bus to Elgin. Instead we had to get the train. The boys were in Cyprus sorting out what trains were where because we didn't have a computer, and this is before we had like proper mobile signal. And they're supposed to be decompressing and they were on their thing trying to get us a thing. And then I ended up getting the train to Dundee and to Aberdeen. We had to change at Dundee, another train, and then we got a taxi from there up to Lossiemouth to see the boys home. And we'd never met before that day, so I covered so much in that one day, all for love. That's inspiring, overcoming something for love. I didn't take anything away from myself for that moment. I literally moved myself through the world to get there to see him home, and I was the only one to see him home. So that's love. That's moving the world for somebody you love. That's great. But I didn't give any piece of me from that. I only grew in that situation for love and commitment. And he gave up drinking time to find a train for me in Cyprus. He still got to go and have a drink. He still got to ride a banana boat. But that image, that always reminds me of the best time we had. The most critical point of our love. And it wasn't long after that we got engaged. I mean, I waited 6.5 years for that blinking ring, but yeah. And that used to make me upset that I waited all that time, but now it's just like, well. And we actually made our daughter 2 months later. And I won't be without her. She came from love. But again, we hadn't had a perfect part to there. That's a long story. I'd taken pieces out of myself which caused the agoraphobia. So you have to weigh up choices. You should only ever grow from a situation. It should not tear a piece out of you and diminish you. You should be there to help each other grow, not to give up some part of yourself in desperation to be with a person. Anyway, Libra, I hope that gives you what you need. I really hope you follow your path. I really hope you work on yourself. I really do. I hope that it's all good for you from here. You can achieve so much, and they love you. Just remember, they love you. They love you. You don't have to be around them 24/7. You don't have to follow their path. You can deviate your paths because your paths will always come back together. Even if there's phone calls in between and visits and moving across the country by about 5 different types of transport, you can always find each other. You can always meet up and have those moments, and it's all the sweeter because you've had the separation. No one can appreciate that moment when somebody comes home from a detachment, like somebody that's been left. The only people that really understood what it was like for your partner to come back from being away for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months are those that have done it. Don't get me wrong, I was always grateful he wasn't in the Navy because that was 6 months, 9 months. But you can only appreciate someone once you've had separation. And then because you've had separation, you can appreciate what it means to be together. Does that make sense? because you had all that time where you were growing in separate directions, but you still came together. It just makes your tree wider with all these branches in between where you tried to find each other, and you still grew together even though you were apart to make a full tree. You're not two trees that have grown out in separate directions. You are one tree, one soul, one partnership that's grown out and further. You've expanded further and grown plusher because you have these experiences that you can share with each other, and you find each other. And you still have the strong core at the bottom and the roots down below. Anyway, Libra, I will leave it there. I've preached enough. Oh dear, and I'm tired. My headache's gone though, so maybe that's what you needed. Yeah, maybe that is what you needed. Who knows? If it was what you needed, by all means, leave a comment below. I do like feedback, even if it didn't resonate. Just leave me a comment to let me know what did, what didn't, what you felt wasn't. If you feel you need to leave a comment, leave me a comment. Anyway, I will leave you there. Thank you very much for watching. Love and light to you. There seems to be a lot of love and light for you there, but don't diminish your own light to chase it. It's happening regardless. So just be a little bit selfish and work on you. Love and light to you. I will see you soon. Thank you very much for watching.